There's a huge dark side when it comes to manifestation that a lot of people are doing, but they don't realize that they're doing it. And that really just comes down to that people have this idea that manifestation, is about achieving your desires, achieving your goals in a more of like an effortless way. And basically, the darker side of manifestation that I was personally doing, and I didn't know because no one's talking about this. A lot of people get into manifestation because it's like they look at their current life and they don't like it, and so they want to change something about it, and so they use manifestation to make that change happen. But the darker side that comes with that whole motivation to do manifestation or to learn about it is that deep down a lot of people look at their current lives and they don't like their life. They don't want to actually feel the way that they feel. There's something about their life or their emotions that they are avoiding. And so they're almost using manifestation to escape that feeling, or to not have to face those feelings and face how they really feel about their life, or maybe situations in the past that happened that really affected them that they just don't want to deal with because it's too painful. And really what this it is so dangerous because people unconsciously do this. I was doing this in the past, and I felt that a lot of my manifestations really couldn't happen because, for one, I wasn't like a clear channel. It was like, cuz your manifestations work like, right? So you have them up here in the non-tangible, and you're basically drawing them down through your chakras into the physical realm, which is your lower chakras. And so basically, what happens when you have these emotions that are suppressed, you don't want to look at, you avoid, they eventually either manifest in your physical reality, or they can even manifest as like physical diseases and stuff like that. Like, I know that might sound scary, and you don't need to like do a whole bunch of digging into your emotions, but you just need to be aware, like, are you manifesting because you hate how you feel in your current life? Or maybe there's some sort of emotion that you do not want to feel about your current life that you don't want to look at. Because as long as you are avoiding, it will be harder to manifest, and eventually those deep down things will continue to manifest because they're in your energetic field, which is ultimately like the information around you. It's invisible, right, to our physical eyes, but it's basically sending out the signals into the universe. And that's what's we're getting reflected back to. So if you don't know how to emotionally regulate, I have a whole video about that too on my YouTube channel. And I would highly suggest that if you really are feeling like this message is resonating with you, because like I said, this was me. I used to be in this boat and I didn't realize it until I was like just really present with myself, and I was just like looking around my room, and I was like, I don't feel content in my life. I don't feel satisfied. Like, and I don't mean in like a motivational way. I mean like in a sort of emptiness way, where there was like something deeper that I actually needed to look at about my life and how I really felt, because otherwise I was always like running from those emotions by trying to manifest this new life so that way I didn't have to feel those emotions or be in this like current reality, if you will. So it's definitely something to look at. Another thing that it comes to the darker side of manifestation is that people don't actually trust. And so they're almost using manifestation to control their future or to control their life or manipulate the universe, whatever. But when that happens, it's almost like it's way harder to manifest because you're giving like the vibe. It's like okay, let me just give you an example because this is how the universe is kind of incorporating it. So you know how like when someone is trying to sell you something and you really feel like they're trying to sell you something, like they're trying to manipulate you, they're trying to, you just get that vibe that like they're trying to get something out of you, like gimme, gimme, gimme. And it's like nobody wants to give that person anything, including the universe. And so that's because like when you're in that state of like, I want, like, give me this, you are energetically in the state of I don't have. If you already had it, if you are actually embodied in your manifestation and you believe that you had it, you actually trust that it's going to happen for you because you believe that you already have it or it is happening, you don't have that problem, right? But you'll know if you're trying to control, you'll know that you're so heavily trying to control the universe and stuff like that, especially if it seems like your manifestations are all about like the future. Like you're almost like manifesting in the future. And it's kind of like this strange feeling because you'll always feel like it's never quite happening now, but you see it like sometime in the future and you're kind of sending like that energy you have into somewhere in the future. And as long as it's somewhere in the future, it's never happening now. So even in 5 years that thing will still be in the future because the future is never going to come. It's just you just have right now. And that's why you need to be present when you do manifest. That's why you need to set your intentions and your manifestations as if it is the present moment, meaning I'm so grateful this has happened. I'm so grateful this is happening. Not, oh, I intend for this to happen. I hope that this happens. I want this to happen. This is my goal in 5 years. You're not manifesting. You're setting out an idea that's in the future. And sure, you can still use that as this sort of vision or clarity or guideline, but it's not manifestation. So I just want to make that clear because that was, again, another thing that I was in. Like, I'm still working on that, just letting go of control and stuff like that. But I feel that the more that I am able to let go of control and actually be embodied in my manifestations, I think that that happens way easier because I have more of this deeper trust for life, for the universe, and also within myself too. So I feel like those are two really big things when it comes to the darker side of manifestation. Not a lot of people are talking about. I've heard a lot about the control thing, but not the escape my life situation. And I think a lot of people are avoiders because if you look at, not saying everybody that consumes alcohol or any kind of substance is an avoider, but a lot of people are. Because if you think about what these substances do in your body, sometimes they numb you, sometimes they bring you kind of to a different state of mind so you can get out of the state of mind that you were in. And all of these things are kind of just avoiding how you actually feel. And if you just sat with how you actually felt for like 5 minutes, it would be gone. It would be gone because you allow the emotional like life cycle of that emotion to be acknowledged, to be felt, to be heard, to be seen, to be understood, and to be accepted, which is basically all of those shadow aspects of yourself just want to be accepted and seen and heard. Like when a little kid is crying, they just want to be seen and understood and heard. And that's exactly how it is with those darker aspects or those heavier emotions that you're holding on to. And it's not that you have to become the emotions. I think that's like why a lot of people don't want to deal with them is because they feel like they're going to have to really feel the pain and they're going to have to go through the whole traumatizing experience mentally again. And it's like, yeah, sometimes that might be the case, but the more that you can practice being the observer, which I talk a lot about in the emotional regulation video I have, the easier it will be to regulate your emotions and to understand them. Because it's like when there's like a little kid crying, right? And you're like going up to the little kid, you acknowledge them, you allow them to feel their emotions, you see them, you hear them, you understand them, right? And that's basically just what you do with your deeper emotions. You don't become the little kid crying. You just see them and be there for them. And another great tip I love for when you have like deeper, heavier emotions is becoming your own best friend. And how would you, like, what would you say to this best friend? Like, how would you support them? And just being there for yourself like that, because again, you're creating that space between you as the awareness and the emotion, which makes it a lot easier to process your emotions because you don't have to become the emotion. And I'm not saying like waste all this energy, but it is a lot of energy when you feel the anger and you become the anger. And then you make mistakes or you say the wrong things because you became that emotion. So I feel like I'm going a little too much on the emotional regulation part, but I hope this video helped you. Let me know if you ever felt like you were in this sort of darker side of manifestation, of trying to escape your current life or trying to control your life in an intense way. Comment down below. I'll see you in the next video.